So I have the pleasure of speaking to you about reimagining a legacy brand like Xerox for today's audiences and today's reality. Before I do that, let me introduce you to me. You heard my name, Deena Piquion. I am the CMO of Xerox, but I did anything but the typical CMO path. I started in the tech industry straight out of grad school in a management training program, really got to know the business, everything about the business, and that included, of course, marketing, some stints in marketing, product marketing, business development, marketing, overall, of course, sales as well. Carried quotas, led P&Ls, and then I was recruited to Xerox a few years ago. And one of the reasons I accepted the offer was the heritage associated with this brand. Long legacy of innovation, diversity, inclusion, and belonging before that was a thing. That was a thing at Xerox way before it was a thing out in the world. Sustainability was always part of the legacy and the heritage of this brand. So I've been at Xerox almost 4 years, been in the CMO seat for almost 2 years. And this past year, we got to launch a new campaign focused on repositioning this brand. And that's what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today. It's been one of my proudest moments, and it's been a lot of fun to work on it with the team. So why are we repositioning the Xerox brand now? First, I'm going to share a quote with you that I think is one of my favorite quotes for marketers to remember. And it was definitely something we needed to remember at Xerox as we developed this campaign. Sometimes as marketers, we get stuck in the short-term measurable ROI of what we're doing, and we forget about the customer, right? But those are the two things that we need to keep top of mind is what are we trying to achieve long-term, and how does the customer fit in, right? How do they want to be spoken to? How do they want to be marketed to? And at Xerox in particular, we have this rich history, this legacy. We're still an admired company that has strong favorability when you put out brand studies. But there are a couple of things we wanted to address. Xerox is really well known for print and copy, right? Everybody knows it. It's, you can say, I'm going to go Xerox something, and people know what you're talking about, or at least those of you that are in my age demographic know what you're talking about. But they don't know about the other services and offerings we had, right? We'd been changing with the market, but we weren't communicating that. We weren't repositioning what people associated with our brand. And the other was younger demographics. The changing demographics of the decision makers that we needed to sell to in businesses. Not as well known in the 25 to 44 audience or demographic, which is the next wave of decision makers that we'll be selling to. Really well known in 45 and over, not as well known in 25 to 44. And time again, sales calls didn't know Xerox could do that. So we had to solve for those two problems. So we looked at the state of the industry after the pandemic. Things changed, we all know that, right? The way we market changed. Everything, digital acceleration. But one thing that I think became so important was that B2B marketers have to remember that in the end, they're marketing to humans, decision makers, people who are consumers in their personal lives and who want to be spoken to in a relevant, authentic, and emotional way, right? So even if you're in the B2B marketing space, you have to remember that B2C and B2B are converging, just as everything else is converging. And so you got to focus on that long-term emotional marketing, even in the B2B space. What else is changing? Buying behavior is changing. There's tons of people that are out of market at any given time, right? Not in market to purchase, but out of market, but that are researching potential solutions, potential products, potential offerings to buy. And how do you make sure that you're creating demand as much as you're capturing demand with your marketing programs? So there's different ways to do that. You've got to use different tactics for demand creation than you do for demand capture. And what we did was we built a marketing campaign that encompassed both. And we tried some different things, right? In the demand creation side, you'll see when I walk you through our campaign, we did a lot of out-of-home, digital out-of-home, something that was fairly new for Xerox. We hadn't done it in a few years. We tried out podcasts and paid partnerships and content partnerships with high-impact news, connected TV spots, right, on streaming services. We know the demographic that we're trying to target. It's not watching regular TV, they're watching connected TV, so we got to make sure we had our spots there. And then, of course, other tactics for demand capture, like search and different influencers and advocacy campaigns. So we got together, our team and I, and we did a lot of work and said, how do we address everything we need to address in this reposition campaign? We've got to address favorability, we've got to increase consideration to buy, and ultimately we've got to generate demand. So we took 3 different approaches on media: impact media to control our narrative and really shift it and reposition it, experiential media to drive that relevance and consideration, and then demand capture media to drive those leads. Because at the end of the day, if we're not driving leads for our new services and offerings, we've failed, right? So this is our new campaign, embraced the bold red that Xerox owned. This is Xerox red. This is a color that we own that we weren't using. And so what we did is we took it back, incorporated the heritage of this brand, and really made sure that our strap line in white on this red pops everywhere that you see it. These are some examples in LaGuardia and JFK. We're a Connecticut-based company. The first place you start is at home when you're trying to reposition your brand and make sure that people associate you with different things. And you'll see that the copy, the tone, has changed for Xerox. It's wittier, it's punchier, it intrigues people to go and find out what we can do to make their life easier. Today, hybrid work and distributed work, hybrid workplaces and distributed workforces are stressed. They're more stressed than ever, and they need tools to help them work more efficiently, right? So we do all the stuff you used to complain about doing. We do it before you even know it needs doing. We help clear your desk so you can make the kids' soccer game. Those, these are emotional appeals to workers, to B2B buyers who are thinking about how to get their work done more effectively and productively. These are the pain points that speak to them. These are some of the examples. In the connected TV ad, we had a 15-second and a 30-second, both of them end with somebody closing their laptop, being able to walk out of the office and get home in time to read their kid a bedtime story. Something we can all relate to, right? All of the demands we have outside of work. This is our NASDAQ Tower billboard. Again, really punchy, trying to make people remember that we have solutions to make their work, to make their workday better, more efficient, and more productive. So this is how we've repositioned our brand for the long term, thinking about the customer, communicating to the customer, and creating tactics that really make sense to the demographic that we were trying to market to, all while incorporating the legacy of this brand, this iconic brand, and making sure that we can be around for the next 100 years. Xerox is over 100-year company, and we'll be around for the next 100 years. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.